Heyo! Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Adam. Welcome to today's vlog. Um, today it's just a chill out day and I'm playing in the sim, playing in the new P3D version 5. I'm going to give you my initial thoughts on what I like the first 24 hours with it. In the description box below, there's a link to Discord. If you're after the sim lights or if you need any help or with anything, if you always want to come and join and have some fun with the memes, join the Brotherhood. And there's also some free and very cheap gaming for you, as well as a free book. But what were my initial thoughts on P3D version 5? Well, I'll tell you, this is the first time I've had an experience with Lockheed Martin on a launch of one of their products. I got version 4 months after it was launched, so about 2 or 3 years ago now. So any issues that I came up with, I did not like it. They were already solved. Like the initial installations problems had already been solved. In fact, I think was there already an update? I think there might have been. I think I joined at 4.2, something like that. So there had already been a couple of updates. Also, like, if I had a problem, I just Google it. I never really went to the forums at all because I just Googled the problem and somebody had already discovered the solution. So my experience with version 4.5 was, to be honest, I did not have to go to the Lockheed Martin website hardly ever. I mean, obviously, I've got an account with them, but I never had to use their forums at all, actually, until maybe like last year. Um, but on the release of one of their products, man, it's a totally different experience downloading, that software as it was downloading 4.3, I think I downloaded. Totally different experience, man. It was insane, to be honest. Obviously, the release of any software that you have to obtain, and if they release it all at the same time to the world, who are in different time zones, but they release it all at the same time, man, that's server overload, right? So I tell you, it took me about an hour and a half to even be able to log into my account to purchase the software, or actually no, sorry, that was a lie. It took me about half an hour to log into my account to purchase the software, but then I got kicked out again. So as soon as I got the email to say you bought it, I got kicked out of on the other screen. So it took me then a further hour to log back in to download that software. So all in all, it took an hour and a half just to get hold of the 22 gig file, which is mad because the file for P3D version 4 something was like half that size, so it's really weird. But yeah, it's I found it very stressful, to be honest. I mean, I planned a live stream at like 8 o'clock, and I think by 10:30 I was actually installing the sim. It's crazy, really. So that was my initial experience with Lockheed Martin. Man, get better website servers, guys. Seriously, if you're expecting or if you're expecting anybody to come purchase your product, then stagger that release as well. Like maybe America on like the 14th, Europe on the 15th, or maybe even the 16th. Don't release it to everybody because it's just gonna be a pain, really, isn't it? Anyway, got hold of the software, installed it. Obviously, like, you got to make sure your firewalls are turned off because I was having trouble just activating the account or activating the product. So turning off the firewalls does help to activate it, and then obviously getting them going again or something for protection. And that was pretty straightforward. Like the installation was pretty easy, to be honest. And it's like almost a 50 gig file size when you've installed it, when you've unpacked it, which is about the same as what P3D version 4 was. So and then I loaded it up for the first time, and I had everything on default. Got into the sim. Obviously, it looks like pants on default because even P3D version 4 looked like FSX on default. And this just looked like enhanced pants. But then it suddenly crashed, and it literally crashed my computer as well. Like the whole PC just went, bye-bye, see you later, senorita. And it just completely, died on me. So I was like, oh, no way. Um, so I restarted the PC and I kept on getting this error with my graphics card as soon as I restarted it. It said error, error, and I'm like, oh, no way. And I couldn't get into I couldn't even load up the scenario startup screen. I couldn't even load up that because it was coming up with graphic card error. Your graphic card is not working for an unknown reason. And if you want to shut it down or if you want to continue without using it and all these options, nothing worked. And I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning trying to resolve this. Actually, I think it might have been 3:30. Or actually, no, it was 4:30, sorry. 4:30 in the morning, I was trying to resolve this and I could not get it working no matter what I did. I uninstalled my graphics card driver, reinstalled it to the latest version, which meant my Assassin's Creed games no longer works now. And then I uninstalled the sim and I reinstalled the sim and still, so I updated Windows completely, nothing. So I rolled back Windows updates and I rolled back my drivers, uninstalled the sim, reinstalled the sim. Honestly, nothing was working, guys. It just was not working. Anyway, so I finally headed over to Lockheed Martin's website and it takes ages because everyone's using their website. So loading a page, it just keeps on coming up error, and then you have to refresh, and then it loads you in, and it's like it's such a pain to get support for it, you know. So yeah, I mean, and there's no like I couldn't see any obvious ticket support, you know. It's literally just go to the forums and start posting, you know. But you can't even edit your own post. That's so weird as well. Like, anyway. Um, so I you know, and I found a fix. I found the fix, guys. I found the fix as to what that error kept on coming up, right? I will say it in my stream later on as well, but basically what was happening was I overclocked my GPU. I use this little MSI thing to overclock my GPU. So, first off, what I needed to do was get into my Sims options, right? And turn off the error reporting within the sim. But not only that, try and bypass this startup scenario screen because that's what the first block was. I couldn't get past it. So go into my CFG file and turn off the load up the scenario screen. Just go straight into the sim. So I get into the sim and it loads fine. I'm like, yeah, we're on a winner here. But if I try and change vehicle or if I try and make any alterations to the settings, it crashes again. It comes up with that thing. So turn off MSI, get rid of the overclock GPU thing, restart the PCU, load it back up, go straight into the sim. Then when I go into my options, I can finally start making tweaks, right? So I turn off the error reporting and I make all the adjustments to my settings, nothing to do with the world, the weather, or anything like that. That's all still at default. But then I come out of the sim and let it shut down naturally, and it saves everything then to the CFG fully, you know. So when I reload back up again and it still bypasses that screen, I can now use the sim, and I did a flight and it was working fine, and I'd made sure the frames were rock steady at 30, and they were. But I couldn't have my you know, all my stats up on the screen because I wasn't using MSI, because for some reason it don't like an overclocked GPU, guys. It'll just crash if you overclock your GPU. So get rid of your overclocked GPU settings and just use your default settings, and it works fine. And it works fine to the point where now I can turn back on, bring up the scenario screen. So when I now load up my sim, I can load up the scenario loading screen, and it's fine. I haven't yet messed with my settings though for, oh, actually, no, I have, sorry, what am I saying? I put everything on max. Everything was on max, guys. Every slider went straight to the right. I ticked all those shadow boxes. I ticked all those, you know, reflection boxes, dynamic, everything. I loaded into the sim and I was getting 30 frames a second steady. I was like, oh my gosh. Now the only sliders I didn't have completely maxed out were my traffic. So road traffic, ship, you know, airlines, airport stuff. They were about halfway. But the rest, everything was maxed out completely. And I was like, oh my gosh, the performance on it is great. And then I loaded up Chase Plane. Initially, it bit the sim. It just said, forget it. But then one side enabled, or one side, you know, gone into my Orbex and sort of updated or something. I don't know. It worked after that, guys. But seriously, it's like that error that keeps coming up is if you're using an overclocked GPU thing. So get rid of it. Just don't use it. when you load up P3D version 5, and I'm sure they will fix that. But at the moment, you don't need to use an overclocker for your GPU. It runs without it fine, and I think it prefers to run without it. So anyway, I'm going to be going live later on, guys, in a stream, probably on Twitch again. And this time we're going to be in the sim, but hopefully my computer won't bite it like it did last time. And I think it was just because I was using that overclocker. That's what I think completely just folded everything. But it's like any new software, isn't it? It's a little bit of hit and miss. And I've seen loads of people who have had no issues and who have been flying around going, this is looking okay. And a few people who are going, mate, this looks crap, you know, and a few trolls in Facebook, you know, but that's what you get, isn't it? So anyway, I'm going to head off now and do some more testing. Maybe put in some Orbex stuff and try and add some add-ons. I know the Dash 400 may be compatible, just literally straight from version 4. I'm going to test with that. I'm also going to do loads of experiments as well. I'm going to make like a second copy of it on my hard drive to just completely wreck with experiments and see what we can get away with, basically. Yeah, I'll see everybody later. It'll probably be about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock that I go live, maybe 7 on Twitch. The link is in the description box below. Come on over. We'll have some fun, and I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.